So now I'm going to show you how to make my minced lamb pea and coriander curry. It's super quick, it's really delicious, and obviously I'm going to show you the best way to get the health tricks and tips from what we're about to do. First of all, get your pan heating. I buy my meat from a company called Piper's Farm. It's just amazing, the quality's fantastic, second to none. And their meat comes in little pouches like this, which is 250 grams. So that's going to be enough for 2 people, possibly 3, depending on your appetite. When the pan's hot enough, drop the meat in. If you're going to be having meat, it's really, really important that it's grass-fed, ideally organic or raised to organic standards. So what we're just going to do is just let it go a little bit brown underneath, turn it over, and then break it up into pieces. Just turn it over. Let the other side cook for a moment. If it is, you've bought it from a supermarket and it is just a pan of loose mince, it's really, really important that you don't keep stirring it around all the time, because then it will just go very watery and very fatty. While that's finishing browning, we're just going to prepare the garlic and the onions, which are going to be going in next. I'm often asked why I eat meat and why I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan if I'm concerned about my health and well-being. Well, I did become a vegan for 6 months or so after the cancer diagnosis, because I wanted to give my body the chance to rejuvenate and rid itself of the cancer. But after about 6 months, what I found was happening is that I was really starting to crave meat, and I wasn't doing particularly well on the diet. So now I do eat meat, but it has to be grass-fed, organically raised, and the best quality, but also just very small amounts. You don't need huge amounts of meat in your diet. So now if we go back to the lamb, it's nicely cooked. So now what we can do is just break it up into little chunks. We'll just let that fry for a minute or 2. We will chop up another onion. And add in your minced garlic, chopped garlic. And then what we're going to do is put the lid on, turn it down to a nice slow heat, and just let the onions sweat out a little bit, because they tend to sweeten the longer they're cooked. So it's been a couple of minutes while it's been cooking. So now we want to add in this is curry powder. This is one of the only dishes I actually use curry powder for. Ideally you want to be using organic curry powder, but to start with, if you haven't got it, just use your normal curry powder. As soon as you can feel the spices starting to cook a little, that's when you want to add in your frozen peas. I've made this recipe with things that you quite often have in your freezer, so you don't need specialised ingredients. So some garden peas. Now this is supposed to be quite a dry recipe, but you do need some moisture in there. If you've got water, use water, but I've actually got some bone broth here. So we're going to add in a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop in some spinach. Don't always use spinach, but I've just found some in my fridge and it's beautiful and fresh, so I thought I would add it in. Spinach cooks very, very quickly. So now we're going to chop up the coriander. So that's almost ready, so I'm going to pop in the coriander. So here we have a beautiful curry.